Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Dune Sea, a show all about that galaxy far, far away and beyond. My name is Konnor.
And I'm Seth.
And today we're talking about some more 80s sci-fi sitcom space pirate adventure stuff. Are you excited about that?
Of course I'm excited. Are you?
A little bit, mildly so.
Just a little bit. Do we need to start a hashtag?
Oh, hashtag I'm the hater this week.
Yes. Konnor the hater.
Oh my goodness. No. I'm very excited. I really rather enjoyed this episode. How about you?
I did too. This may have been my favorite of the three.
Favorite of the three. It was also my favorite, I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 minute review.
Oh,
hit me
already. My goodness.
What else do you want to do?
I don't know. Maybe we would just chit chat, say hi to everyone.
The people at home don't care about they just want to know about what we think of Skeleton
They only
Crew.
care about Star Wars. That's it. They don't care about what's going on with us. I get you. Okay. So overall, I thought that it was solid. I think that you've said it yourself, like the show is pacing really well. I think that it is excellent pace. It's interesting what they decide to show, what they decide not to show. I think also the underlying mysteries of who is Jude Law's character, seeing as how he has 3 aliases now, and then also what's going on with the parents and the planet that they're from. Like there's a lot of kind of moving parts, all kind of intertwined with this mystery. So it's keeping me entertained. And I, for lack of a better term, Jod, right? We can call him that.
Jod Na Nawood. That's his Christian name so far.
So far, yes. So I can't wait till he's just going to be like, what's your real name? Jude Law. Anyway, gosh darn it, I completely lost it. Like I was thinking like Tropic Thunder, where it's like he's got all these different aliases or whatever. But anyway, so you know how everybody was real high on Soul during the Acolyte? It's like Soul's my guy.
Yes, okay.
Jod might be my guy because
gotcha.
He's got some Han Solo, but he's got a little something else. So I'm really curious to see where the character goes. Right now, he's my favorite part.
Mine too. I would say, him and Neil. Him, my boy Neil. I didn't forget about him.
Neil Nation.
He's right here. Neil
had some moments. We got to talk about that at some point.
Oh, we will. We will get to the Neil moments for sure.
Yeah.
So my 1 minute review is that the pace, like you said, pace makes or breaks anything for me. I can overlook stuff I don't like if pace is really good, but pace, excellent. Again, I mean, we are rolling right through. I thought this episode in particular had just stellar direction, which I'll get into in a moment. But the direction, the pacing, everything was terrific. I thought we got time with all of our characters, get to know them, and our new characters in Jod Na Nawood. We got to know a lot more about him in such a short amount of time, and Kim and all of these great things. I thought it oozed with sauce. That's what I'll say. It oozed with sauce, from the music to the style to the direction to the pacing. I'm into it. This was also my favorite episode so far.
Is that a new Connorism? Oozy?
Oozy? I mean, I said sauce.
I know, but oozy.
Oozing with sauce. There we go. We just upgraded. It evolved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So real quick, want to check in with the chat. I know this camera still does not look awesome, but I want to thank you all for being here. We're figuring it out. This is surprising. This is an astrogation problem, I believe, is what this is with the camera situation.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Real quick, huge shout out to our friend Michael_Kramer98. Thank you so much for following me on Instagram. I still can't believe it. Happy holidays to you both. Well, to you too, Michael. And of course, I mean, you're one of the OGs. So I saw, I was like, I'm not following him back. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
it's great to see you, Michael.
My goodness, I made it into his Instagram stories.
Yeah, did you?
My follow back.
Hello to Undead Caesar. Hello to Baronessa. Hello to Divided Skywalker.
Hello.
We have Richard Hoja Jr.
Hello.
We have Matt Carvalho. And Angelina Serena says, hello, I have a question for you both. Well, let's get to your question real quick before we jump into our 5 takeaways for the Skeleton Crew episode 3. Do you think Keanu Reeves would play a great Darth Revan from Knights of the Old Republic?
Ooh,
I don't see why he wouldn't.
Okay, that is I feel like that's such a loaded question. That it's interesting. I guess I think he'd do a good job, but I would kind of like to see a no name.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing. I think he would exactly that. I think he'd do great, but I think Star Wars really thrives on no names. Like I don't want to be watching it and thinking Keanu Reeves the whole time.
I don't want to see John Wick.
Exactly. I don't want to see John Wick with a lightsaber.
Yeah. I just think that there is something really special about even like with Daisy Ridley and John Boyega and Adam Driver, that they were all pretty much nobodies. Yeah. And then echoed even the prequels and the OG, that like George was trying to find like no names.
Yeah. But your main cast, I mean, you get like, you have your Qui-Gons, your Liam Neesons and your Samuel L. Jacksons, but
also this might be sacrilegious, but in KOTOR, you can play as a female. So I never hated the idea of Revan being female.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That just like that be like, what? So, he's one of the few characters that I think that could work because he came from a game.
Because it's an RPG.
Yeah, because he came from a game. And so in my household, because that's one of my wife's Star Wars, Revan is female because she played those games.
She played as Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So thank you guys in the chat. Keep them coming. We'll check in with you guys here throughout the episode.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are enjoying this kind of different format for the show.
Yeah.
But right into Skeleton Crew episode 3, something astrogation problem.
Yes.
I don't remember the full title. I also love the titles that they're just random quotes from the show.
Yes. Which I mean, it's got you listening. That's the whole thing. Now that you know that it is a thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that's really fun. Mm-hmm. So I want to start off with sort of the direction. You guys know I like to kind of dive into the production when it comes to these shows and this kind of stuff. And I thought the direction was superb in this episode. Let me give you some examples of what I mean. So we cut away several times from Jod in the beginning before we really got to see what he's capable of.
Yeah.
So for example, like in the, we cut right into them in the dinghy, right? We don't get to see how they really get on it or any of that stuff. I think that is really efficient storytelling, but also we're obfuscating some things about Jod's character. What is he capable of? We as the audience don't really know yet. And then they do it again when he goes to rescue SM33.
Yeah.
And then once again, we're right back in the dinghy, but everybody's already chasing him, right? I really like that decision. And also throughout the episode, we're getting these like pretty high octane moments, where they're attached to the moorings and they're kind of stuck, and all that stuff. And that's great. But then we get a lot of time with that scene where Jod is eating his bowl of soup.
It's so annoying. And I love it. It reminded me of Luke eating his food on Empire. Do you remember that? When he's sitting there and he's all like, how far away is Yoda? And you could just hear him scraping on that bowl.
That's true.
Yeah. He's just sitting there just scraping and you could hear it. And that's the whole thing is I really liked the Foley design in that scene because you could just hear Jod just.
Yeah, that's right. That's fun.
Yeah.
I just liked that it was such a slow scene, like cutting back to hearing Neil's stomach growling. Yeah. We had time for that and it didn't feel too long. It didn't feel out of place. Mm-hmm. And yet this episode packed so much, but we still get time for a scene like that. I think that is a hallmark of excellent editing and just terrific direction. And not to mention, I mean, the chemistry between Jod and the other actors, I thought that the synergy with the direction of wow. Jod, forgive me. Jude Law. Thank you. I don't know why.
Dumbledore?
I know. Jude Law, I thought, really delivered a stellar performance. I mean, Han Solo with the Force. That's been my mantra over and over again.
Yeah.
And that was sold right away. And another aspect when it comes to the directing and editing and the overall pace of the show, I got to say, I love that they didn't linger on some mysteries. They just came right out of the gate with Silvo has escaped from the brig. So, right away that Jude Law's character
he's got the hood up and everything. And he's hiding behind stuff. And it's like, oh, well, that's him. Even though that, we knew that.
I know, but I love that there's not an exposition dump. You don't get like, well, Captain Silvo, and none of that. It's just somebody yelling it in the background and it's up to you to put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
It's not in your face. I thought that was brilliant exposition.
It's cool too, because it it doesn't make the audience feel stupid. It's like they get to figure it out on their own. Yeah,
exactly. We get to have that moment where we're like, I knew it. Yeah,
I was right. Captain Silvo's in the helmet is Cadence. It had to be Jude Law.
Yeah, right. I liked that a lot. And then we also get confirmation that he's not a Jedi right away.
Yeah.
Which again, all of us at home knew that.
Yeah.
Like we were speculating that, but they do it while weaving new mysteries. And that's, I think, a hallmark of a great show. I really, really liked that.
I think too that like they have really captured that whole in that scene that you're talking about with like them escaping. They really have like captured that pessimisticness of like Han, Leia, and Luke as they're sneaking around the Death Star. That it's like, I guess KB's a Jedi too. That it's like, just the nice quipping going back and forth. Like it's pretty cool.
I agree with you 100%. I think it's definitely one of the more fun aspects of the show. I think is that the delivery of information, I think, has been just, aside from even narrative pace, the pace of which the audience is getting sort of delivered on these mysteries, like setups and payoffs, is perfect. Because you have the big one, right? You have At Attin, which we get more of here.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah.
But then we have these little mysteries like Jod is Captain Silvo. He's not a Jedi, that are being answered as we go while setting up new things like Crimson Jack. Who's that?
Is he force sensitive, or is it just magnets, or maybe small string?
Yeah. Is he lying? I think that's great. I can't gush over the direction enough in this show. I think that's one of my favorite aspects to it.
Yeah. Did you notice NEEL when they were in the dinghy?
What about him?
When like he picked up Jack's gun and he's like looking at it and he sets it down. He's in the foreground and he like picks up Jack's gun and then he sets it down.
I must have missed that. That's
it's real weird that it's like, it's like, what are you doing, man? Like, you shouldn't hold that.
That's good.
Yeah.
So next thing I kind of want to talk about before we get into the real meat of the episode is we really doubled down on the 80s nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like that pitch.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's perfect. The more that we get into this, I think it is the perfect idea for a show. Like I can see them sitting down here, like with Favreau, Filoni, and saying basically this: like, what if we told a meta story about kids who experience Star Wars for the first time in Star Wars?
I could even see it. Like, what was it like when you guys first watched Star Wars? I want to make that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's such a great pitch and it works so well. Like imagine if you were given that, then being able to develop the stories like, okay, well maybe they're on a planet that is hidden away from everything. So they get to experience the story history for the first time when they escape it.
And that's what I think is neat too, with the whole, like he pitched this originally when he was doing Spider-Man Homecoming. So he had all this time to kind of develop the story and build it up and, kind of keep reworking it. And I think it shows.
Oh yeah. It feels tight. The writing feels tight. And again, a hallmark of good pacing because the story is flowing.
Yeah.
I hope so bad that it continues to flow.
I was going to say that like so far right now, I know we're only 3 episodes in, but like this is just as good as Mando in my opinion. And I'm talking like Mando 1 and 2. Yeah. I'm not talking Mando 3. That like Ahsoka had pacing problems. But like there's high points. But like right now we have not, in my opinion, we haven't hit a low yet with Skeleton Crew. So
I agree. I think this is on par with Andor in terms of pace. I thought Andor had a great pace. A little bit of a slow burn at first, but if you look at it in terms of the 3 episode arcs, I thought it built really well.
Yeah.
So far, I think this is the best paced show. As far as how everything is building, how we're getting a delivery of information and things like that, which I don't know how much other people really care about that. But for me, like maybe it's a subconscious thing, but that's something I pay attention to a lot.
I think too, with it being like a weekly show, not a dump all at once, I think that really helps captivate you and helps you like think about it throughout the week and want to return to it. And like, cause how many times have you watched it?
I've watched this episode twice.
Yeah, I've also watched it twice, but I think it makes you return to it and feel like, oh yeah, I want to return to it. Not, I should probably watch it one more time just to make sure.
Yeah. Well, that's a great point about the water cooler talk. That was one of our critiques of Acolyte, is that it would stop dead in its tracks multiple times and there was just nothing to discuss.
Yeah.
Right. And so here it is serving the weekly release better than most. Whereas I think that, the Acolyte story, I think, is better received in a full viewing. I also think Kenobi is best received in a full viewing, like as a binge. Yeah. But that's difficult with shows that are, a grand total of 4 to 6 hours long, something like that. Yeah. So I think it's a testament to the creators that this is building well within the week by week structure. So the other thing about the 80s nostalgia that I wanted to talk about was just another meta moment that I thought was cool. So when they get to Kim, you know, and they mention Alderaan and she's like, missed the war, did you? It's like they literally missed the Star Wars.
Yep.
You know, and
all of it.
like from in universe and outside, like they have not experienced Star Wars. And I don't know if that line was intended to be a meta sort of thing like that, but with the pitch of the show, it felt so
like on par.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost on the nose, I thought, which was, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Kind of the last thing that I'll say is that like Wim and the Gunner, I think is the final sort of thing in this episode that really hit home these, like the kids, you know, playing.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we got to see them swinging around fake lightsabers in the first couple episodes. And now we get to see Wim, you know, piloting basically the Millennium Falcon gunner. Right?
Yeah.
How many times did you do that as a kid?
Well, and let's be honest, this should be like, I feel like replace the X-Wings with TIE fighters. This should be a Disney ride.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah. Is your buddies flying and you're the gunner?
Yeah. It does feel like that.
Yes,
yeah,
very
yeah,
much
yeah.
so. So I'm hoping that they, maybe they could rework this into a Star Tours thing. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, that'd be neat. I'd like to see some sort of skeleton crew Disneyland thing.
I think
cool.
it fits perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. That rather than the ride inspiring the show should inspire a ride.
Yeah, kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Exactly.
It was a ride first.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
Okay, checking back in with the chat before we continue. This camera angle is driving me nuts. But I'm gonna have to stop complaining about it.
You just stop.
Quinlan Voss, good to see you in here. There it is. Hello there. Hello there.
Hello there.
Django, I see you there. Not being able to watch live. Don't worry. The show will be here whenever you can. You can get back. The Divided Skywalker. The outfits are amazing. Thank you for going all in. We try.
This is just how I always dress.
We try to go hard. We but really, it was just we crashed on Port Porgo and we had to make do.
Yes,
it's the only thing we could find.
Stuck here. Yeah.
And hey, Alan DCG, how you doing? And got some good. I always like to see the community, you know, like because they recognize each other in here too.
Yes,
that's super fun.
Yes.
So again, if you guys have questions or comments you'd like us to read, we're going to keep coming back to the chat as we go. But let's dive into kind of the first scene in this show, which was kind of interesting. It was I actually found it. I was worried for a moment.
Me too. Oh, I was worried that like, how long are we staying here? Because I don't want to be here.
Yeah, exactly. I was concerned about that too. I was okay, I don't want to be here too long.
Yep.
And derail the pace.
Yep.
But I thought it was just enough and a little bit of intrigue. Like, what's going on with Wendell?
Super creepy because maybe I'm honed in too much on this. Does he actually need those glasses?
The glasses that you hate.
The glasses that I hate. Because what if they're not supposed to be there? It's all an act.
Well, I have a thought about this, and I have something to pull up here.
Okay.
So there's
show it everybody.
So there's a mural, and I'm going to pull up the mural. I actually don't know what's this one. It's a little blurry. I apologize, but we're going to pull this up, and this is in Fern's house. Okay, this is right behind everybody. I don't know if so this. Okay, you guys can't see the mouse, I guess, but see the symbol up there top. That's what Fern's wearing. Yeah, you know, and
that's top of the class, right?
Did these characters remind you of the characters that we're seeing? I mean, we have this guy kind of on the far left, kind of looks like Wendell a little bit. Yeah. We have Neil's parents here. Yeah. And then Fern, and then we have we got the hammerhead, and then the other guy here. Yeah. But I don't know. I caught that. When I pulled this screenshot, because this is clearly supposed to be like sort of a founding myth type thing. Yeah. But I did find it curious that at least 3 of these 5 characters are matching the characters that we see here in like maybe the present, if you will.
Lineage. Royal families.
Oh, that's interesting.
Of sorts.
I could see that definitely with Fern.
Founding fathers.
Okay.
If you will.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. I think that's interesting. Mm-hmm. The main thing I wanted to touch on here is that actually, here I just spotted. First of all, hello, Star Wars Time Show. How are you guys doing? But Matt here is saying the planet only has certain races living together, and they are represented in this mural. That's interesting. I didn't catch that. So So maybe there is sort of like these.
Well, remember their comment in the last episode that they were like, look at the aliens.
Right,
it's like, kid, you live with aliens, but only certain aliens.
Okay, so maybe those were the outsiders, if you will.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Great call on that, Matt. See, this is why I don't ever. I love the Star Wars Time Show, but I don't watch their show during the week because I don't want to bias my own opinion.
Yep. I mean, I've been trying to stay away from everything.
Maybe I should have though, because he's picking up on stuff that I didn't catch.
Yep.
That's a great call. But anyway, I just thought this like sort of founding myth thing was interesting, and I think that makes even more sense that there's a. So if you go left, you'll see a Runan's face and missing Rodians. Okay, well there you go, perfect. Because I was wondering that like that. I was like, we saw a Rodian in the first episode on the bike.
Yeah.
With the bully kind of character.
Yeah.
But so what do you make of Wendell? What's going on with him?
I don't know. Again, like the whole thing too is like when it's slowly kind of zooming in on him and he takes off the glasses and stuff like that, it kind of seems like he's having like shell shock a little bit. Like, you know how you always see the war movie where it's like slowly getting louder and louder and louder and it's zooming in on him and it cuts. Like, I kind of like, is he having flashbacks to something? And again, how he took off his glasses, I'm just like, maybe those aren't supposed to be there, and I'm getting my wish that like glasses aren't supposed to be in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
especially glasses like that. Like, I'll give you tech, but those are kind of like built into his.
Those are goggles, sure.
Yeah, but those are kind of also built into his helmet. Yeah. So yeah, and then Pershing, I don't know. Like that's weird to me that he shouldn't have them, but I guess they're tiny. So yeah, there's that.
I thought it was curious that Wendell is he's isolated in that scene. So you have all the parents yelling at the droid, and he's the one who sits down. I think that there's something with that. Okay. The ship. What is ship? What's the ship called? The Onyx Cinder? The Onyx Cinder.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he has something to do with the Onyx Cinder being there. He clearly knows a little more than he's letting on, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah.
So I wonder, like the kids kind of speculate in this episode that their parents have something to do with managing money, managing the treasure.
Yes.
And I wonder if there's a little bit of truth to that. Like maybe he is.
Well, that's what they're learning in the first episode.
Yeah.
Is like, it's something about like currency exchange and exchange rates. And I had said that I think they're mining something, and that's, changing money and stuff like that. So
there's a little bit of dialogue here that I think maybe will help point toward what we're seeing here. And that's from from Wendell. He says, is the supervisor going to contact the Republic for help? And the droid responds, because the starship is outside the barrier, the supervisor is unable to risk any contact. And a couple things strike me about this little exchange. One, again, how resolved Wendell is by asking it. He's the only one not freaking out.
Yep.
I think that's really curious. But he's asking about the Republic. So does Wendell know about the Republic, like the new Republic, or are they talking about the Republic within the planet?
Or the old Republic? Does he still think that they're around?
Exactly. That was my other thought.
Yeah.
And the fact that then right away with the droid, he says, because the starship is right outside the barrier, the supervisor is unable to risk any contact. Does that mean that they don't? This is why I wondered if the Republic is referring to an on-world thing, because it's like, do they not contact anybody outside the barrier at all?
I don't think that they do unless like they're allowed to go in and out, because that's kind of what the droids made it seem like, is that ship, like only ships coming in and out that everybody knows about. You don't just land on At Attin.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is he called? The
supervisor.
The supervisor kind of reminded me of like Oz Great and Powerful a little bit.
Funny. I wrote that down too. I thought the exact same thing. Yes. I don't know. I know that everybody on At Attin is isolated, and that nobody knows, right, because of the barrier. So, but I did just find his reaction curious.
Yeah.
Like, does he know? Is he one of the few people who's kind of in on it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he's been placed there. That's my guess.
He's been placed there. That's interesting. We did kind of say that last week that this kind of reminded me of Krypton from Man of Steel, where everybody's
has their own place. But my whole thing too is, again, he looks so out of place. And now that if we're going with this narrative, like he looks like Clark Kent, Superman. That like, no, sure. But like, he's looking like how he should look.
He's blending in. Yes, I get what you're saying.
He's blending in too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see if there is more to Wendell. 'Cause there's a reason why you isolate and focus on a character like that for so long.
Yes.
He clearly knows a little more than he's letting on. Maybe, here's just thought of this. Maybe he as a kid discovered that the Onyx Cinder, maybe he really is just from there and he learned a little too much.
Yeah.
Went off on his own adventure, and that's why he's such a stoic now.
Yeah.
And trying to get Wim from stopping him from going on an adventure.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this supervisor for a moment.
Okay.
Do you have any theories about this character?
I don't know. I mean, like, you know, your brain goes to Palpatine, but like, it's like, please no.
No, I don't think so. I think this is too removed. My guess is rogue droid, almost like a rogue AI type thing.
Oh, interesting. Kind of like a Wall-E kind of thing.
Yeah. And the reason why is I'm trying to think like, okay, the most Star Warsy thing. Palpatine is too easy, and it's also boring.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a boring thing.
Especially for how interesting the show has been so far. It would be like, it's Palpatine. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
No thanks.
So I think that rogue AI, for sure. So, I think that feels the most Star Warsy, like this, something that came there to create this dystopia, because everything is too ordered as well. It's very logical.
Yeah.
And also notice that the everything feels, I just lost my train of thought there. Everything's very logical.
Yeah.
And the droids don't have personalities too.
And have you noticed too that I think that the population's super controlled there.
Oh yeah. Of course.
There's just there's no crowds. There's no anything. It's just like you see one person walking down the street. You see a droid walking down the street. Where is everybody?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I agree. I think that I'm leaning toward Supervisor as a droid, although, I mean, it could be anything.
Yeah.
I just think that's the most interesting thing, in my opinion, is you have like this hive mind droid that's controlling everything on the planet.
Yeah.
It's just who put that there. So, yeah. And I want to go back to, real quick. Come on. Let's look at some of these murals from Kim. We'll get to Kim in a minute, but maybe to point us in that direction. Real quick, we'll catch up with the chat first. I see Matt's going crazy in here.
Oh my gosh.
Seth is right. Wendell is the only parent to see the kids take off in a buried ship. He's shell-shocked. He's not in on it. I don't know personally. I could buy that. I could definitely buy that, but I'm not. It just feels like there's something more to it. Think you're all too focused on Wendell. He was shell-shocked. He was just shocked from the events that he witnessed. Maybe. I think that there's just something more there. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Out because of dominating the chat. Cheers, fellas. Well, hey, appreciate you, dude.
See you later.
I'm looking forward to watching your guys' show tomorrow. Matt's always going more in depth. He knows a lot more than we do. We're just two dudes who talk and dress in silly outfits.
I am a pirate.
Last point. Notice that Jod has a thing about droids like Mando did prior to IG-11. I thought that was more like Han Solo, personally. Like, he doesn't like droids because Han Solo doesn't trust droids. So that was more like what I...
When's he not trust droids?
He doesn't like the droids being on his ship. He doesn't like C-3PO, and he doesn't like R2-D2. He's always pushing them out of the way and stuff.
I mean, 3PO's annoying in Empire.
I know.
Yeah.
But just reminded me.
I don't know. Okay. I was going to bring that up. So yeah, we can't quit you either.
The Jar Jar emoji.
Yes.
So I wanted to pull up this image, not that one, this one. So this is on Kim's scroll, and it's very reminiscent, by the way. Like here, I'm going to just toggle back and forth. Look at this.
Everybody's kind of over this thing.
Well, it's similar art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's curious. So if we're looking at this, first of all, I got to point out something just that everybody else has pointed out. Look at the kind of black hole there in the middle.
Yeah.
Tentacles,
weird weird tentacles.
That would be interesting. I wouldn't mind that actually. That this is going to like just subtly a little bit kind of point to more Abeloth, because we know it's basically all but confirmed. That's where they're going in Ahsoka season 2.
Please no.
I think it's just, it's in the cards at this point. I think that they could do it well in canon. We'll find out. But that's kind of what I'm envisioning here, is that this is kind of an Abeloth thing. Again, we'll see. I'm not opposed either way.
Maybe it's the Maw.
That's also like, well, the Maw that was in Solo.
Yeah. The big creature. Maybe it's one of those.
Maybe. I thought that it could have also be where Abeloth is housed. It's a Maw as well, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. That's kind of where I was at. But anyway, getting back to the supervisor idea, I thought that it could be interesting. Maybe it's an installation of maybe this character in the middle, something like that. I don't know. I find that so curious. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it is odd, especially since like thinking about other like Star Wars topography. I don't know, whatever you want to say, imagery. That like I'm trying to think about other things that I've seen. You don't see that very often, where people are kind of like bowing to something. Like I've not seen that like imagery in Star Wars very much. That like, you know, like, what is this then? That it's that important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is very like mortis coded, I think.
It is, but like, you know, the mortis, like they look kind of like, the Catholic paintings or whatever, like with how they're positioned and everything like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It definitely has iconography vibe to it. But the only other time in Star Wars I can think of that we see that is with like the mortis gods, like on Lothal and whatnot. So I really like this. I think it's got so much intrigue.
Yeah.
So, okay, fine. Let's lock it in. Supervisor, droid or real person?
Real person.
Real person? Okay. Yep. I'm going with droid. We'll see. We'll see how that shakes out at the end.
Okay.
Checking out the chat again here. I see Matt's offering up some of his theories. Jod has issues like Din. Oh yeah. So where was that? I just saw you said something up here. Yeah, is Goldblum in this? Is he?
Jeff Goldblum?
Is Jeff Goldblum in that? I don't know. Are you making a reference to like?
I think he's talking about the Wicked.
Oh, yes, okay. I was like,
he plays Oz.
I was like, I didn't think I saw that casting, but
no, Alfred Molina was in this episode.
Oh, I know. That was pretty cool.
That was a great scene.
That alien. It was great. It was a fantastic scene.
Yeah.
Is that person rejoicing too? It definitely looks like it.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting.
It's weird.
Yeah. So I would be okay if this is sort of a subtle Abeloth kind of reference. We'll find out as we get. I mean,
it makes sense that the galaxy as a whole would know her, like be aware of her.
Yeah.
But still, I just think that is dangerous waters you're treading.
I think it makes sense if you're setting up like a big bad, right?
Yeah.
And I know that you were joking about the Wizard of Oz, Matt. Okay, so jumping into our next topic here. I'd love to hear your guys' theories, by the way. We know Matt's. Anybody else in the chat? Just to give Matt some crap here. Actually, really looking forward to watching like some of what his theories are with this. But if anybody else, what do you guys think? Supervisor. What is this character? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, what's this all about?
Yeah.
Who is this person? Droid thing.
So the big thing about this episode is obviously Jod Na Nawood.
Yeah. Very
interesting character, something very different. And right now it's the performance and the writing, but I really like this character. So I think right away we know, well, what's that?
There's only one thing I don't like about him.
What's that?
I don't like his pistol.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, why?
I don't like the way it sounds. It doesn't sound very Star Warsy. You listen to it?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a blaster at all. It sounds like a flintlock pistol, and I'm like, nope.
I think that's kind of cool. You don't like that?
No, it's not. That's dumb.
Yeah.
It's dumb. It's super dumb. It can't be too pirate. Like, I'll give you this. Hold on, let me find it because I wrote down the arm the cannons on the double. Okay. That's clearly pirate talk, but that works in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
But like when you make your flintlock pistol sound like a flintlock pistol and not really
just
like a blaster.
Too far for you.
I'm too far along the plank, if you will.
Oh my gosh.
Look what I did there. Yep. Look what I did. Yep.
Hashtag Seth the hater. He's back.
Oh, the hater's back. What are we playing back here? I haven't even gotten a chance to see it.
It's Attack of the Clones.
Oh, well, maybe I'll just watch Attack of the Clones.
Well, good luck because half the screen's cut off. So stop it.
I'll make it work.
Anyway, so Jod Na Nawood, I think he's great. I like right away the first thing that we get with him using the Force. Clearly another callback to A New Hope. You know, he's knocking
things down the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this is also pretty big confirmation that he really can use the Force, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that there could have been an argument for the keys and even the light switch later that maybe it's some trickery. Yeah. But I mean, he knocks something pretty far away.
He does.
Right.
And the other thing though that's weird is he did the whole like stranger danger thing. Like when they were all like, we don't even know who you are. And he's like, my name is Jod. No, I'm not a stranger. I'm like, no, that means you don't trust him. like the 80s, like, the 80s infomercial where it's like, be careful, kids.
Well, is that his real name? Jod Na Nawood?
No, probably just like something real boring.
Oh, I'm with you. And the reason why is because we learn he has 3 aliases here.
He does.
Captain Silvo, Crimson Jack, and Jod Na Nawood. And why would you tell these random kids you just met your actual name if you are a person who's used to using aliases, whatever one's convenient to you at the time?
It's true. We may never actually figure out his actual name.
Yeah, and that'd be kind of interesting.
It would be. Is he supposed to get an alias every episode?
That'd be a kind of a fun running gag, actually.
No, I thought that Will of the Force said that he was supposed to have like 12 aliases by the end of it.
That'd be cool. I'd be down with that. As like every new character you meet.
I think he was talking about that, like he wanted a shirt with all the aliases on it.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I personally think that this name, the Na Nawood thing, because again, if this is a person who's using convenient aliases every chance he gets, why does he give his real name to these random kids he's never met?
Yeah, I could also see too that like this is his, this was his Jedi.
Yes,
like when he lived, like when he spent his time as a Jedi.
Yes, this
was it, and like he is far removed from that at this point.
Yes, I agree. I think that my theory is that this Na Nawood character. If it is his real name, I think that it's probably because his parent was a Jedi, and maybe he got pushed out during the purge.
Yeah.
Right. Or during the Inquisition. I think that'd be a really interesting backstory, is that his parent, this Jedi, got killed.
See, and I'm kind of thinking, since he does not like droids, because it's interesting which droid he decided to talk to. With the battle droid, he cursed at it. Like, I think that he was alive during the Clone Wars.
Okay. He definitely, he'd be a kid for sure. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I think that he was alive during the Clone Wars.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Mm-hmm. I think that, I'm going to put this out there. I think that he was not, he definitely was alive during the Clone Wars, but I think that he wasn't a Jedi during the Clone Wars. Maybe a child of a Jedi, or, and this, I think that he was just picked up by a Jedi during the rise of the Empire during that 20-year period.
Yeah.
And maybe that Jedi's name was Na Nawood. And something about maybe getting abandoned, because he says that later, right?
He says that he's like them, that he's lost.
Yes, but I mean, in the ship, one of the kids, I forget which one, says like, "Oh, Jedi don't leave people behind." And he's like, "Nah, that's not a Jedi thing." He almost
wanted to catch himself.
He almost hesitates on what he says, and I wonder if there's more to that. Like a Jedi abandoned him. Maybe a parent, again, it could be a parent that was a Jedi and then maybe didn't really abandon him, but rather got caught by the Inquisition and never got back to Jod.
Yeah.
Or my other theory here is that he just got trained by a Jedi named Na Nawood, and something very similar happened. And I'm leaning toward that actually, only because it's curious that he uses that name. I wouldn't think that he would use the name Na Nawood if it didn't belong to a Jedi of some sort.
Yeah.
And I don't think he would use it if it was his real name. Like, again, he plays his audience, right? So he has the kids that he knows they're really into Jedi, and like about the myths and stuff. He doesn't know that they're from this world that's been secluded. Maybe they've heard of Na Nawood, whoever this character is, right? Maybe they've heard of that.
Some sort of hero of legend.
There is a bit of casting information. We can actually deride some information here to follow this theory.
Interesting. Okay.
There is I guess, do you want that?
No.
Okay.
How much is it going to ruin?
I mean, it just falls in line with what we're talking about, I think, but it could go either way.
Sure, then go for it.
Okay, just minor spoiler warning for the chat. Skip ahead.
Look out, guys.
Like 5 seconds if you want. There's a character named Jod Na Nawood in the casting on IMDb. Now, I think that this could go either way. I think that it could be the Jedi that maybe trained Jod,
or some sort of parent.
Or some sort of parent, or a sister, something like that, right? Yeah. I think it could go many ways, but it definitely follows what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Either way, he's not a Jedi. I think he has an inkling of like maybe he was around it and had very little training during the Boken period, meaning after Order 66.
Yeah, I was going to say the door's just open for him. Just has an affinity for it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of people in the galaxy. We just haven't seen them that are like that.
Yep.
That can just, they can just use the Force. They don't have any proper training in it, though.
Yeah, I think that he could. I mean, it's clear that he knows a little bit. Yeah. He obviously knows how to wield the Force in a very minor way. We've not seen him do anything crazy aside from just parlor tricks, essentially.
Yeah.
He's given little slogans to the kids, you know, about how like not everything can be calculated as he clicks the thing, right? So I'm kind of locking this in. The Jod either way, he was trained in the ways of the Force very briefly, or he was around somebody during the Boken era after Order 66. Mostly because I just think if he's another youngling who survived, that's so
dumb.
boring. It's just, that's the millionth time we've seen this. And so far, he's really interesting. I think Han Solo with the Force is so much more interesting than a disillusioned youngling who got involved with being pirates. I think that what's more likely is that Jod is very much like Wim. He had, not that we know that Wim has Force affinity, but Jod, as a child, had Force affinity, either had a parent that was a Jedi or knew someone, came in contact with one and picked up a thing or two just from being scrappy.
Yeah.
You know, and being a little scoundrel.
Yeah. And then the fact too, that you, if you have Force affinity, that would make you a good pirate.
Sure. Yeah. You could you could mess with some things too. I like the idea of somebody who's not dark, but using the Force for, not great things.
Personal gain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any final thoughts on Jod as far as like Jedi, not Jedi?
Not really. I mean, I think that,
we know he's not a Jedi now.
No,
right?
definitely not. Yeah. And I don't even know if he ever was a Jedi technically, because he was pretty adamant on, I never said I was a Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's clearly distancing himself for a reason. Yeah. Right. All right, let's catch up. I've been seeing out of the corner of my eye, the chat's been going crazy.
Yeah. I thought Matt was leaving.
Yeah, Matt, what's going on here? Pirate laser gun, Seth.
Yeah,
stop it.
It's dumb.
Hey, Crafting on Ilum. I love Jod and KB's interaction in this episode. Yes. Those were a lot of fun.
Yes.
Here we go. Look up Jedi Need to know what Nawood. So there you go. I guess my spoiler warning was not useful.
Yeah.
Matt's down here dropping spoilers. Undead Caesar. Maybe he doesn't know his real name. That's interesting.
Yeah. Did he just gave himself an alias?
Yeah, could be. Could be. Says Divided Skywalker.
Yeah.
Peter says, did you have all these costumes before the show, or did you get them specifically for each episode? Listen, we just we're just riding through the galaxy. Okay, we do what we got to do. The Falcon's closet is vast. Hey, you saw that in Solo.
Yeah,
it's got all the capes and stuff. I'm just saying there might be a thing or two that we picked up.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. You got to dress the part.
Yeah,
yeah.
So most of our drip, if you will,
our proverbial drip.
I'm not gonna lie to you, we most of the time have it already. For one reason or another.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Falcon's closet is vast. That's all I'm getting at.
I guess we could use the
Peter. Okay.
What?
It's just no. I'm just pulling his comment.
Okay. Well. Okay. I guess we could just say, the dark side of the Force is a pathway to many costume changes. Some would consider to be unnatural.
Some would consider to be fashionable.
Fashionable. Yeah. I like where you're going with that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Peter also says, I hope he turns out to be Han Solo with the Force. Absolutely.
Yeah.
In German, he said, that's not the Jedi way. That's interesting. And Divided Skywalker says, Jedi is a specific faction, so he could be Force sensitive, but not had training with the Jedi. Yes. Yeah. 100%. But I do think that he has enough Jedi-isms. It's like he got the syllabus at Jedi school.
Yeah.
And then stopped going to class.
Yeah.
Like he was there just long enough to learn some lingo and some vocabulary.
Well,
and learn how to throw stuff with the Force.
It's interesting too that when he went like this, he looked an awful lot like Obi-Wan doing that on the Death Star.
Sure. I think it's a performance thing.
Yeah, but I mean, they told him to do that.
Yeah.
They didn't tell him to, hey, this is how we want it to look. Yeah. So
yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. I'm with you. Hey, we got Schechter in here. Hello there. Good to see you boys. How's everybody doing tonight? Hey, doing all right. Matt says, can't help myself, but I'm realizing I can't do this. I need a mic. I know. It's about time to get Matt back on the BDTS here sometime soon. Now that we've figured out some more of this live streaming stuff, because we're not experts like the Star Wars Time Show.
This is true.
We're just rolling our way
trying to figure this out as we fly through the Falcon.
Yeah, we're just a couple of guys trying to make our way in the universe.
You said the thing.
Anyway, let's back to Jod Na Nawood. So I could definitely see a flashback later on where we get a little bit more of this.
Oh, they said episode 7.
Oh, that's the big Jod episode.
Yes. There's a big Jod moment in it.
Yeah. He's definitely going to betray the kids, but it's going to be that moment where he got to feel for them and they're all going to be like, but you said you were a Jedi, and Neil, still Star Wars time show is in my mind right now.
Yeah.
Neil's going to kick a rock, hold his head down low.
Yeah.
He's going to be the last one to leave and just shake his head at Jod as he walks away.
He's going to be like, what'd you expect? I'm a pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then, he's going to find his heart by the end of it, of course.
Yes, his heart will grow 3 sizes that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's predictable, but I love it. I think it's a reason the trope works well, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, it's going to be great.
So.
He's going to ruin those kids' lives for like half an episode.
Minutes, yeah. It's going to be your Dark Night of the Soul moment, and then we're going to come back.
Yes. I need a hero. It's
going to be riding it, dude. That'd go hard. That'd be cool.
Him and SM33.
Yeah.
Like flying in to save the day.
That's fun. So the next thing, we arrive on this moon because Jod's got a friend here.
He does. What do you think of the music here? I kind of liked it, but I kind of hated it at the same time.
Oh my gosh. Hashtag set the haters back again.
What did I do wrong? Is it like Star Wars though, Konnor?
Yes, it's cool. It's got this.
Yes, it's cool. Okay.
It's got the
very 50s.
It's like the theremin. No, it's 80s. What do you mean it's a 50s?
No, it reminds me of kind of like they came from outer space. Look out. Like it's like that. They're on a moon and everything.
My gosh.
Yeah.
It's too much fun. It's like
it's Mars Attacks. That's what it sounds like.
Hold on. I gotta do this.
What are you doing?
I want to see everybody spam that in the chat. Here we go. I'm pulling it up. Hashtag set the hater. It's going to stay on for the duration of the music talk. Right there. There it is. Right above you. I think it's great. I love how it sounds.
Yeah.
I thought it was, again, the sauce.
The sauce. That's oozing for you?
Yeah.
Oozing with sauce.
We didn't have any dry chicken up in this place when it came to the music. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
But you didn't like it.
But I mean, I just thought that it felt a little out of place. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I do like the idea of an observatory on a moon, though. Yeah. I'll give you that. Can I talk about something before we get to the moon, though? Because the way they got to the moon. So anyway,
we're going to talk about more. Kidding. Go. It's your show, too. You can talk about whatever you want.
I just like the idea of them going into hyperspace and being tethered to something. And that thing whipping back and smacking into everything.
Down Port Borgo?
Yes, because I'm surprised that you didn't stop. Yeah, because I'm like, dude, that's like a thing that you don't think about. It's kind of like the Holdo maneuver, where you're like, wow, I never really thought about that. Or the whole Han Solo like coming out of hyperspace within the shield generator.
Oh yeah,
it's like, never really thought about that. That's like this, where it's like, wonder what would happen if you were tethered to something. And then it went into hyperspace. And I just really like how it whipped back and then like took out a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Like that's cool.
Also, Captain Brutus, I didn't talk about my boy there, but he just looks cool and sounds cool, man.
He does.
He didn't have much to do in this episode, but that's okay. Yeah. We got him and Urkel like hanging out.
Yeah. His name's Gunter.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He'll always be Urkel in my heart.
He'll always be Stephen Q. Urkel. Anyway, last thing I want to say about that scene though is that I need to talk to Ashton about this, but while they were escaping, it sounded an awful lot like Attack of the Clones, the Zam Wessel chase scene.
Oh, okay. Got you.
I got those vibes. And then also Benjar Prenick, who was played by Alfred Molina.
Yeah.
I really liked that interaction with the two of them because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's his Greedo. Because it's like, hey, I think I'm going to have to tell the captain because I'm going to need that reward. Also, I thought it was a nice callback because he's in the first episode. He's the one that gets shot in the face.
Yeah, that's true.
So when they attack the not Tantive 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Here he is again. Yeah. You see how he rolled his eyes, guys? Baronessa, hashtag set the hater. Schechter, hashtag set the hater. Richard, hashtag set the hater. I like that you guys are all on my side on this one. Thank you. I don't often get that.
Huh. Where's the tag? Oh, they're on Camino. We could just watch this. Look, he's shedding his armor.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I did want to talk a little. I did.
You kind of skipped ahead a little bit.
I did. I forgot about the scene where they're rescuing SM33. It's great.
Yeah.
I made a little short about it, but there was the reference when he turns on the battle droid. Did we win?
Yeah.
And that's a Bad Batch thing, but it's also in Survivor. They say the same thing in Survivor. I just like that that's a running gag with battle droids whenever they get ticked on.
Yeah.
Thought that was really fun.
Well, again, it's interesting that like he commented on that droid specifically. That he cursed at it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think that there's something more to it.
That's interesting. I could buy into
kind of like how Din with the super battle droid within his flashback.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if he's got something where like he was alive during the Clone Wars. He'd fit that age. He's probably a little older than Din Djarin.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'd imagine so. Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea what his age might be. He could be. He's definitely older than Luke, right? Like that's because Luke was born like right there.
Yeah.
At the end of Revenge of the Sith. So like right as the Empire is being born.
Yeah.
He's got to be a little older than that, I would imagine, but maybe not. I don't know. He's definitely a little older than Luke at this point.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I liked also that other droid. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was like CZD2, the one who's like, save the prince.
Yeah.
I think that's supposed to be a C3PO reference or C3PO R2D2 because it's like CZ, so C3P0, C0.
Okay.
And then I think it's D2. I might be wrong on that. But what does save the prince mean? I've tried to look that up.
I don't know.
I wondered if that was an Easter egg.
I mean, I think that it kind of fits with like kind of that fantasy pirate genre.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just wondered if it was something that was like referencing something.
Well, I mean, what are they doing in episode 4? They're trying to save the princess.
Oh, so maybe it's just a
save the
twist on that. That's fun. Okay, I can
maybe
buy that.
That's it. I mean, like when you really like take everything off of Star Wars. I mean, that's what they're trying to do. Go to the castle, save the princess.
Yeah. I could buy into that.
Yeah.
So there's a great scene. And turning on SM33, and SM33's kind of got like a vibe to him.
Yeah.
Right. And then they have their little standoff too on the ship.
It's the best part of the episode.
Yeah.
It's so good. Well, because like the whole thing is like Star Wars, I think, has a certain kind of humor, if that makes sense. And this, I'll admit, was a little outside that humor, but it still worked for me.
Yeah.
Like this was leaning a little bit towards Guardians MCU kind of silliness, but it worked for me.
See, I think that they're doing comedy with editing.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happening here. Whereas Marvel more does the quips.
Yeah.
That's where their comedy comes from.
Yeah.
So like you have different types of ways you can write comedy. You can write just like straight up jokes.
Yeah.
You can have situational comedy.
Yeah.
You can have like a good edit. Perfect example. When Fern is like, but we're not even tired. Smash cut. There's no music. There's no like, boom.
She's just asleep.
She's just asleep.
Yeah.
That's a great use of the camera and using a cut to deliver a punchline. And I thought that scene with Jod and SM33 was very much the same thing.
Yeah. How he comes back around the corner.
Yeah. Because they play with a little bit of time because it lingers there just a little too long.
And he just got done saying that he doesn't repeat himself.
Exactly. Yeah. So once again, you're using the camera and your editing there to kind of deliver a punchline. And so I thought that was different than the MCU. Not that the MCU doesn't do that, but the MCU, when you say MCU humor, it's usually quipping, right?
Well, I'm not talking Iron Man. I'm thinking more like Drax.
Okay. A little like James Gunn is what it's. Okay. I could see that. It definitely has some James Gunn vibes to it.
Yeah. Well, this whole show kind of has a little bit of James Gunn vibes, I feel like, with just, Guardians vibes in particular.
Yeah. I guess. Sure.
Yeah.
I could buy into that.
Yeah.
Great scene though. I loved all that stuff on the ship. I loved his conversation with KB, like clicking the button.
Yes. Which, taking it back to her parents, what do you think the safety monitor? Do you think that's her visor? Did you notice that her parents were all like, we can't get a hold of her safety monitor. It's offline.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. That would make sense. Or maybe, yeah. I
Is
guess
she a kid?
Yes, she's a kid.
Is she?
She's not a robot.
But I'm thinking, like, is she like Lobot?
I don't think. Maybe, I don't know. I doubt it.
It's weird, man. It's super weird. Does she live in Fern's garage?
No.
Like, I mean, it's weird.
I think that it's just one of those Star Wars quirks. Yeah, maybe like Lobot, but Lobot's not like.
Lobot doesn't have a personality, though. That's the problem. She has one.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think she's definitely still a kid, but anyway.
It's weird. It's weird. It's odd.
I think that was a great scene though, with both of them there, giving like, she leans a little more toward droid.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's not a person or a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole I'm not tired thing though is like a very real thing.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm like, I like that you captured reality with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yes.
So now let's finally get to the moon.
Yes.
We're on the moon. I didn't miss anything, right?
No, I don't think so. The only last, like, I mean, this is them getting off the ship. That shot where Wim is sitting on the cargo lift. Did you catch that dialogue? As the pan, where it's going across.
That's another
like, what
great,
are you
that's another
what are you doing?
Great, like blink if you miss it. Like he's riding this thing.
Yes, and then Jod is just like, it's just like, what are you doing? It's like I'm playing. It's like that's a cargo lift. Don't play. Like that's too real. Yeah. I've had that conversation too many times where it's like, get off that. That is not safe.
Yep.
What are you doing? That it's like nice little slice of life in there.
I love how subtle all that is. It's not in your face. You know, they didn't have like a shot. It's just in there in the background. They were just talking.
It's just happening.
Right? Real quick, want to check in. First of all, Will the Force with the $4.99 super chat. First of all, great to see you in here, buddy. A great droid is such an important building block to any Star Wars story, and SM33 is a perfect fit.
It's true.
100%.
It's true.
100%.
Yes.
I thought that I saw out of the corner of my eye. Again, I apologize. We're formatting this a little bit differently. From Cole Cowan 808 with the $1.99 super chat. Love from Scotland boys. SM33 is my droid. Aye. So a lot of love for SM33. Can't really blame you guys. He's awesome.
Yes. Hey, look at what's Undead Caesar saying there? What is that?
Where
I think right.
Oh.
Pull that up.
No, wait. I misclick. Hold on. Sorry. We're moving on.
No.
We have Schechter says, we love Seth, but he's still a hater. Wow. Look at that.
Seth the lover.
Yeah.
Has a nice ring to it.
Does it?
It does.
Does it?
It does.
Well, hey, Star Wars Tide Show is popping in here saying CZ was the white droid.
Yeah.
Reference the Save the Prince is referencing a Star Wars Droids episode. There you go. Called The Lost Prince. Yes, I did recognize that white droid was in the crawler in A New Hope.
Yeah.
Again, great callbacks with the droids. That scene was awesome. Also, Brandon, you're starting to think the visor is meant to temper her force powers. I don't know about that.
Temper her force powers?
Yeah, KB.
What?
I don't know.
No.
I could maybe, but I don't. That seems. I could see why they don't want that on At Attin for sure.
Yeah,
but she doesn't strike me as she's the one with the force powers. Like if anybody, it's going to be Wim.
It's going to be NEEL.
Hey, one can hope. I'm just, dude. I saw a toy photo. Gosh, forgive me, whoever posted it. I put it in our stories, but somebody I follow on my personal page did a toy photo of NEEL with a lightsaber.
Yeah. And
it was great.
Red?
No, it was blue.
Okay.
You got to match, you need some synergy here with the skin tones.
Okay.
But, yeah, I just thought that was super cool. Like, please give my boy NEEL a lightsaber. Yeah. Like, I want there to be a scene where Wim's really trying. He's got to be the Jedi, and it's going to be the scene of Force Awakens. Hold on, let me set this up. Give me a second.
Yeah,
you're going to have the moment right with it. They're going to find a lightsaber in somewhere. Maybe it's in the treasure on At Attin.
Yeah, something
like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And Wim, he's been with Jod for some time. Maybe he's like, maybe I got this stuff. Maybe he can move a paper clip or something. A Star Wars paper clip. They don't have paper. I don't know. Like a
kind of like how they don't have glasses.
Yeah, basically, right? Yeah. So he's going to start moving some stuff around, but he's not quite getting it. And then there's going to be the scene where he needs to call the lightsaber, and hear the Force theme, and it's going to fly right by his head.
Yeah,
to NEEL,
and he's all shocked.
NEEL's got the lightsaber.
Yeah,
and then NEEL's going to ignite it.
Yeah,
and he's going to save the day.
Yeah,
that's it. So we're gonna
got it. Write it, John Watts. Yep. Make it happen.
Yep. No, it's already there. It's going to be as episode 8.
That's it.
Sorry for the spoiler, guys, but NEEL's going to be
NEEL awakens.
Yeah. Yes. NEEL awakens. And then maybe he turns to the dark side. NEEL strikes back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Revenge of NEEL.
Revenge of the NEEL.
Yeah.
I just want a whole show about him. Honestly. Yeah. That's where I'd be at.
He's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, he was so fun this episode. The little
you missed him holding the gun.
Yeah, I did miss that.
Yeah.
I did miss that. But him screaming when he's piloting the ship.
Yes, when he's shrieking. It's good. That's too real too. That's too real.
It's so fun.
Yes.
It's so fun. Mm-hmm. So, okay. The other big thing that happens, obviously, in this episode is we get to see this new character, Kim the Owl.
Yes.
What do you think about her?
Did you? What?
Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on. Here we go. We got. You just go ahead. Keep talking. Just say what you're going to say.
I said Kim more like Wan Shi Tong from Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's what she reminded me of. Yeah.
Okay.
But you haven't seen Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I have not seen Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, he's a big owl that lives in a library.
Yeah.
That protects the library.
I got you.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that for sure. For the connection. But,
And then also,
you had
like,
a big sigh. Did you not like this?
It's really, really fantasy. Like, really fantasy.
Go on.
Really fantasy.
We've had whole discussions about how Star Wars is fantasy on this show.
It's true, but like an anthropomorphic owl running around. What?
It's awesome. What are you talking about?
I guess.
But it is fantasy. That's the whole thing. It's like Star Wars.
It's a little
fantasy.
crazy. I just wish that it looked a little more Star Warsy.
Kim also had a little Lobot thing on her head. What do you want?
And I guess that she did look kind of like Crix Nadine. Like that's what her outfit reminded me of from the Rebel Alliance.
Oh my god!
So I take it you loved her. Is she your favorite character now?
She's no NEEL, but she's pretty cool.
I kind of wish that she was Maz Kanata. I'll give you that.
I did think that while I was watching it.
Yes.
I was like, maybe this is going to be Maz Kanata. But
I was hoping.
But like, she's definitely Maz coded here. What's wrong? I don't understand. A space owl? You're not into that? Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought she was great. She had the Lobot helmet thing. You know?
Yeah.
Star Wars owl.
Star Wars owl.
It's
will you just
fun.
say that again?
Star Wars owl. What do you
Star
want
Wars
from me?
owl.
God, what? She was cool. Okay.
She was cool. Favorite character? Second favorite character?
In this episode? Maybe
third favorite character?
She's up to number 3. I mean, I got NEEL. I got my boy Jod.
Yeah.
Kim.
Kim?
Wait. I did forget about Captain Brutus.
I was fourth favorite character.
She may be okay. Captain Brutus didn't have a lot to do this episode.
Yeah.
But Space Owl.
Space
Wolf. Space Owl. They're kind of neck and neck. I'll be real. They're both pretty cool.
Space.
How do you get
creatures
hung up,
of the forest?
How do you get hung up on Space Owl? But like Brutus is Star Wars Blackbeard. Like he's Blackbeard literally with a wolf head, and you're not like, now hang on a second. That's a little too fantasy for me.
Yeah. I think it's just because like he's a little bit more like she's like real owl. Like just a talking owl. Like he actually like looks like a wolf man.
I don't know what to do with you sometimes.
I don't know what to do with you. My goodness. Okay, so
doesn't like glasses. Doesn't like the theremin.
Hey.
Doesn't like space owls.
Oh.
Like, did you even like this show?
I love Star Wars.
I didn't say that. I said, did you like this show?
I do like this show. My goodness.
Okay, what about space elephants, Seth? We into that?
Max Rebo's son? Yes. He's great.
So you draw the line at an owl. Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
An owl that like, yeah, sorry. Look too owl for me. My bad.
Okay, what about Turgle from a Survivor?
Which one's that?
The like frog thing in there.
I don't know that. Sorry.
You probably hate it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Star Wars frogs. What about that?
Like the thing that Jabba the Hutt eats?
No.
Those things?
Okay, imagine that, but like fully grown. Like an adult.
Can he hold a lightsaber?
It's a she.
Can she hold a lightsaber?
Probably. She's a little, I mean, she's got kind of a weird body shape, but she's anthropomorphic.
Gun?
I don't know. Blaster? She just hangs around a bar. I don't know. Like, I don't know what weapon she uses.
Okay. It's cool.
Star Wars. Okay. But it's cool. It's not as bad as Star Wars Owl is what you're saying.
Yeah. I think it's just weird too that she's a librarian as well. That's weird that like the whole, like being an owl and being a librarian where I'm like, dude, how are you even going to like, I guess you have your little talons, but I'm like, how are you holding on to all this stuff? You got all these data pads and everything. All it's going to take is like someone's going to knock it over as you're flying around. That's all. It's a weird. What?
So anyway, she pulls out this scroll when they get there, which is pretty neat.
Don't forget about that sweet silhouette shot of them walking to her place.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that was awesome.
That was fun.
With behind the moon.
Yes.
That was great. And of course, you get the little Easter egg when they get there. You get the 3 little, I like how there's 3 adding to the gag of the Jabba the Hutt things.
Yes,
I forget what they're
the
called.
security thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was good. I liked that.
Yeah.
There wasn't too many. Was three a bridge too far for you?
I mean, that was the first shot we got of the show. Remember that? That was the first picture.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. It was the first thing I thought. Like,
Okay.
oh, look at that. I've seen that before. That's fun.
Okay. So you liked that one though. Okay.
Yeah, I was fine with that.
Well, Seth is anything if not unpredictable, I guess. So there you go.
Yeah.
So she pulls out the scroll and we learn
I
about.
just wasn't vibing with the character design. I'm sorry.
I just can't believe it. It was awesome.
It was awesome.
I loved it.
Okay.
We need to stop. Okay, but we're going on too long about.
That's fine. You're the one that keeps bringing it up.
No, because it's part of the episode.
Yes, you keep coming at me. Why are you coming at me about this? Sorry, I didn't like your character design.
You should be sorry. It was awesome.
Okay.
It's not that. It's just that you're like Star Wars elephant. I'm game. Star Wars frog. Evidently, you're into it. Star Wars Wolfman. Into it.
Yeah.
You're just prejudiced against owls.
No, it's just like it's the lack of hands. That's the whole thing where I'm just like, it's just again, she's very owl, not owl person.
What about Star Wars slug? Jabba the Hutt.
He's awesome. He's got hands.
My goodness. You got to talk about this friggin' scroll.
Okay.
Let's talk. check in with the chat first.
Yeah.
NEEL before Seth. I agree. NEEL is better than Seth.
I think you need a K on that.
Oh, stop it. Hashtag hater. Agreed. Seth is 1,000%, 10,000% a hater.
Yeah.
Star Wars is fantasy. It is.
It is. I'm not saying it's not.
They have walking carpets, Seth. Hashtag Seth the hater. Now, this is great. I'm a hashtag hater again. Wow. Hashtag Seth the owl hater. Hold on. Oh, what's going on? Why can't I pull this one up? Hashtag Seth the owl hater. We're all in agreement. I'm glad to see that. I'm really, really glad to see. Glad to see all this.
Cool.
So anyway, I'm going to pull up this scroll. All right, we get these. We learn about these jewels of the old republic.
What a neat term for planets.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think this is basically confirmation that this is old republic. Like
yes.
Revan era, that type of stuff. We've been speculating about what this means because the old republic could refer to prequel era, could refer to high republic era, or old republic.
This is like beginnings of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like KOTOR era, that stuff, which I think is really cool. Mm-hmm. So we have these 9 jewels, and I want to give a shout out to Blor on Mandalore, who tipped me off to this. He mentioned Tanalorr could be one of these, and this is the planet from Jedi Survivor. It's like stuck in this. They hide it basically.
Okay,
they hide the planet. I think that's a great call, but I wonder if this is it was hidden during the High Republic era.
Yeah.
So I don't think it can be one of the jewels here. Like it's also discovered during the High Republic era.
Okay.
But I did think that was a really interesting call as to like what these because how many times have we seen a planet that's been intentionally hidden from the galaxy?
It's true.
It's not that often.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting that all of these, but At Attin is the one, that was preserved. And I wonder if At Attin is that one in the middle.
Yeah.
Again, kind of looks tentacly. Is this where Abeloth was from? Maybe if we're going that route, if we're going like the Abeloth route.
Or what if she's the treasure within At Attin?
Now, there's an idea. That's really interesting.
Oh my gosh, Seth thought of something cool. I guess he just he's not over here just hating owls.
That is a cool idea. Yeah. I do like that. That maybe
she's beneath the treasure. Yes.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing is that like she's the true treasure.
Because why else would they need to hide At Attin? Because it seems so superficial that they would only hide it.
Forget about At Attin. It's not even hide it.
Yeah.
Forget it.
It seems so superficial in my opinion, to hide it because of just treasure.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we got to hide our loot.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I would like that for this kind of show because it is sort of, they're going for that very simple piratey vibe.
Yeah.
So I could be into that, but it seems to me that there needs to be something a little more.
Yeah. So I like Dave Filoni didn't have a whole lot to do. Like he produced it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think John Watts would be like, oh yeah, I think they're hiding Abeloth.
I could see like
reworking an idea or something.
Not necessarily reworking, but adding on to it. Like if they've already, if his pitch was, hey, they're going to go to this hidden planet.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm sure the question comes up, well, why is it hidden?
Yeah.
And then maybe that's when Dave steps in and be like, hey, we're doing this thing with the overarching story. It'd be cool to tie that in.
Yeah.
Maybe they do that. Maybe they don't. But I don't think I don't think they would have to change that much of the story.
Yeah.
To give
to make
it
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like the idea personally.
And it'd be interesting too if like they did kind of like a Smaug kind of thing that something is protecting the gold or protecting the treasure.
Yeah. Maybe it's a supervisor.
Yeah.
Maybe like if it's an AI, something like that. That could be cool. Because we do see that shot in the trailer of like the big head, like the big skull.
Yes.
Kind of reminds me of Indiana Jones.
Yes.
I wonder if that's like where the supercomputer's hidden.
Maybe.
Because I think that's how you Star Warsify this idea, where, it's not just a cave with a bunch of treasure. It's like a cave with a bunch of treasure plus a big old droid that runs the whole planet.
And that you need to stop the big droid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's very Star Warsified, all of that. I think it's really neat.
Nice spin on a classic.
Yeah, for sure. But I do love this concept, the Jewels of the Old Republic. I think I like
that term.
It's so fun to finally get our foot in the door with the Old Republic. And it's funny that this is the show that's going to do it.
Yeah.
We all thought that Acolyte was going to do it. And no, it turns out the kids pirate space adventure is the one that's getting our foot in the door with characters like, Revan and all these things to finally get it into canon.
Well, at least are pointing us in that direction.
I don't think Revan's going to show up. I meant like that whole, it's an avalanche is what I'm saying. It's like once your foot's in the door, there's a lot that could be explored.
The door can be opened, if you will.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. The Force flows through us all.
So I like this idea, and this map is really intriguing.
Yeah.
Yes, I see Matt saying Tanalorr exists, though not destroyed. Yeah. I wasn't saying that Tanalorr was one of these. I just think that that's a really fun idea to explore here. It's like, this doesn't happen often with like planets being hidden and whatnot.
I did think that Kim, that comment that she made was like, there is no map to At Attin. Like, that's such a pirate thing. Yeah. Where it's like, because don't they say that about Tortuga? Where it's like you can't.
Oh yeah,
you're not Tortuga, or where
it's the Isla de Muerta. Yeah, it's the island that can only be found by those who already know it exists.
Exactly. That's why I'm just like, I wonder if it's going to be something like that, where like you can't find At Attin unless you already know about At Attin.
So now the big question here, which we didn't touch on this last week, why is the Onyx Cinder there?
I know, and how long's it been there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a situation where they accidentally got there? I have a hard time believing that because it clearly was crewed by pirates.
Oh yeah. I think that they were there looking for treasure and then they probably killed each other because like there was clearly a battle happening on board.
Right. Yeah. But how did they get there?
I don't know.
Because the thing is buried. That's another huge thing.
It's been there for a long time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just buried. There were trees on it.
Yeah.
That's another big thing. It's like, a thing can be buried and covered in grass, in a couple 100 years or whatever. But this is like, there's a whole ecosystem above this thing.
Yeah.
And I also want to know what's up with the valley right there. Because did that kind of look dug out to you?
Yeah. Almost like a trench run.
Yeah. I wondered if maybe somebody went looking for that ship or something.
Yeah.
And they it's like that meme of the miner who's turns away right before he strikes diamonds. Like they were right there.
And then they stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think.
Or maybe they did find it. Because like it was kind of right there, and then the droids took care of it.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. I just want to know why, if this place is so hidden and there's no map to it, and Smee SM33 doesn't know about At Attin, at all,
even though he's been there.
He's been there,
I assume though too that he got all scrambled during like the pirate mutiny or whatever that happened because something happened on that ship. There's a guy stabbed through. Like
100%, yeah,
definitely.
But there's just a lot of weird sort of mismatched puzzle pieces here. Like you have SM33 who's still here, doesn't even know about the name At Attin, yet he was there. Yeah. The ship's clearly been there a long time. There's clearly been a battle, as you mentioned, that has killed most of the people on board. And I think that Wendell, I still think he maybe knows a thing or two about this. I don't know 100%, but there's just something to that.
I buy it.
So I don't know. There's a lot of intrigue here. I don't know why the Onyx Cinder is there, but I think that's a mystery that I'm almost looking forward to more than what At Attin is. I think that it's all going to tie together. I think that
definitely
one's going to lead into the other for sure.
Yeah.
So, any other points about this episode before we close her out?
Well, we didn't even really talk about the New Republic.
Yeah, the X-Wing chase.
Yeah, exactly. Like that whole X-Wing chase is really interesting. You get lots of still kind of Millennium Falcon-esque like vibes with the music and with how the ship's reacting and stuff like that. The kids in the gunner seats and stuff like that. Like it's pretty cool.
Did you also think it was going to be Carson Teva?
I wanted it to so bad. Was that Jon Favreau?
I thought that too. It sounded just like him.
I know.
Yeah. Apparently. I don't think he was the one that where the cockpit opens.
He was not the one that landed. Yeah. I'm talking about the other one.
Yeah. I forgot to look in the credits, but I thought the same thing when I saw that.
Yeah. What about your boy getting to fly the ship? How'd you feel?
NEEL, I love that scene. Him squealing was hilarious. I loved that.
And then I liked Jod trying to convince them to let him back on the ship. Like that was such a good scene.
Yes, that was great.
Where, can we talk about it when we get inside? No, we're talking about it now.
Yeah.
And then SM33 with the blowtorch behind all them and everything. That's just like, oh yeah, he's got these kids' backs. Yeah. I like it.
No,
So
that was great.
I'm really liking how they're all going to be like this kind of dysfunctional family, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. And you get just a little more hint about Jod's true character. Like, I'm just like you. I think he was telling the truth.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe the only time in this episode that he was telling the truth. He slips up a couple times, where he almost says something truthful.
Yeah. And then I like too that like KB went back and checked on Kim. That that shows to her character and everything.
Yeah. Everybody really got a moment here. I thought KB was the only character in the first two that really didn't get a ton to do. Uh-huh. But yeah, we got a lot more KB in this episode, probably more so than any of the other kids.
Yes.
And that's great. I love that every character is interesting.
Well, and two, like when you have these moments, then any of them could be your favorite.
Exactly. Yeah.
When you give too much love to, just two characters, then the other two, like no one's going to like them. No one's going to buy their action figure, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good, I think, testament to how good a character is if you want to buy a merchandise of them.
Yeah.
And before, I'll be honest, I only picked up NEEL and Brutus here.
Yeah.
But I have been kind of thinking about, like, I don't really collect that much, but I've been having some photo ideas.
Yeah.
I'm like, I kind of want the rest of the gang, and that is a testament to how good the show is.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
To be able to want to recreate things and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. It's neat. I think that it reminds me of A New Hope in a lot of ways, where you love everybody there.
Yeah.
And
well, again, they make a crew, if you will, or a whole family. Like they all kind of fit into. They have their puzzle pieces, basically.
Yeah, they make a point to give everybody a moment.
Yes.
Whereas some of these other shows so far, I haven't really thought like Acolyte. I didn't care about anybody.
Yeah, I know. And think about that. That like it was really written for like Soul, and like now I feel terrible. Why can't I? Chimere. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel bad. I don't want to trash on the show. It's just by comparison. It's just I think it really shows how good this show is, and where that show faltered a little bit for me personally is that I really love all the characters here, and that was one of my biggest issues other than pacing was I didn't really care about the characters. And then Mando, I care about Mando. I care about Grogu.
Yeah,
I kind of care about the Armorer. I kind of care about Paz Vizsla, but not really until that final season.
Yeah.
So I think they've done the best job that they have.
Yeah. Well,
here.
With Mando, it's tough because they do like, it's not always a running episode.
Serialized.
Yes.
No, it's not apples to apples. I understand, but it's just I guess just to highlight, I do really like that they are giving everybody a moment in this show.
Yeah.
But yeah, the X-Wing chase was great. And I absolutely adored the final beat of this. X-Wing lands and like, I couldn't shoot them down because of the kids.
Yeah. Did you notice too that they were like EMPing them?
Yeah.
Or doing the stun. Yeah. Which I didn't know that they could do that, but that's cool.
They also found a way to make an X-Wing chase low stakes.
Yeah.
Which was great. We needed that for the kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's no way they could be doing, but this is like, later I think it's going to come where Neil's going to have to fly the ship and it's going to be the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. But I did like hear how we got to have a moment where they got to have a little dogfight.
Yeah.
But somehow it wasn't, nobody was in danger of getting hurt. I was never worried that one of the X-Wings is going to get blown up because I'm like, the kids are having too much fun. You can't have that moment. Like that's too dark, right? You can you can't have that. But I did love when the X-Wing lands and says, where are they from? If I told you, you wouldn't believe me. That's such a whimsical little note to end it on.
Oh yeah. No, it's awesome. And again, it fits that character. Like it totally works with an owl on a moon observatory. Like that's so wild and out there. It's good. It's really, really good.
This has felt more Star Wars-y to me than a lot of recent anything.
It's interesting because like I bet this is how Star Wars felt in the 70s.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
It's amazing that with the pitch that they have, that sounds like it would be difficult, yet they have somehow nailed it.
Yeah.
Where they wanted to recreate specifically that experience, not only for the audience, but for the kids in the show. And somehow they are just they're hitting it every time. It's crazy.
It's like, it's different enough, but yet similar enough in the right ways. If that makes any kind of sense. I know that sounds probably really, really crazy.
I just love that this all feels like, I saw someone else say this, so I can't take credit. I don't remember who. But this feels like a book that might have come out during the Bantam era.
Okay.
Just a little legend story.
Yeah.
Just something to kind of hang out in for a little bit while you wait for Ahsoka season 2, the next big thing, the Mando and Grogu movie. Mm-hmm. But it's not in a bad way, right? It's not to discount the story. The story's awesome. Yeah. It's just a little thing, right?
The last thing I wanted to talk about, the moniker Crimson Jack.
Very cool.
That's a character in Legends and also in new canon.
I know. Isn't that cool?
So it's interesting that it's like, I think that it's just a name he goes by. I don't think he's that character.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It's just something he stole.
Yeah.
Which I think that can inform us as to what he's doing with the Na Nawood name. That's why I'm not totally sold that he's the child of a Jedi, but rather he knew a Jedi named Na Nawood and stole the name.
Yeah. I buy it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Any final thoughts?
I mean, I think it was probably my favorite episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rating out of 10.
8.
Okay.
Yeah.
8. I do about an 8.5. Yeah. I think that's right.
I'm having fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole thing that like and I got to see something different, like with the whole, the cord
space owl.
Yeah. I got to see a space owl. Wow. It also reminded me a lot of, I think too, that like what was the book we read with all the Jedi? I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't read that one. It was Tales,
Legacy of the Force, or Tales of the. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's the John Jackson Miller book.
Yeah, there's like a Jedi like observatory kind of thing in there. Legacy of the Force, that's what it's called.
Okay.
That and it reminded me a lot of that, and I thought those parts of the book was annoying. So
the Living Force.
The Living Force. I'm sorry.
Living Force.
Yes, that like I was not. I think that's part of the reason why I was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this. It's this room that's full of data pads and whatnots.
Gotcha.
But that's okay.
Gotcha.
That's okay. Yeah.
Well, let's check in with the chat before we move on to the community spotlight.
Ooh.
Very excited about that. We got Commander Phoenix Customs in here. I can see Seth's arguments on Kim. I'm kind of indifferent on her, though. So there you go. You have someone on your side.
Cool. Thank you. That's all I want.
But Matt says she does have hands, Seth, so relax.
Cool. I guess she does have hands, but...
Baroness is bringing up Rakata Prime was hidden lost because the Star Forge is too powerful a weapon. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff like that in like Legends. That's not a canon thing, right? I don't think they...
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't know if that's not a High Republic thing, right? For any of you who played Monkey Island, got Wally the cartographer vibes. I have not played Monkey Island. Have you played that? It's an old point and click.
No.
Right?
No.
I'm a little rusty on my M-DOS, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is, right? Mm-hmm. That's an old point and click. Upgraded X-Wings with ion cannons. Good upgrade. And Michael in here again says, I feel like the dad knows something about the ship. I'm kind of with you.
Definitely.
Kim is totally one Shitong, and I love that. She also knows 10,000 things.
Oh.
Very fun. Very fun. And Star Wars Times just says, did the whole line of the Black Series, I assume. I think I saw your story about that. I'm tempted. Runner said Monkey Island is a major influence. So that's cool. Yeah. It's I want to say it was an old point and click game. I'm like,
okay.
I have like vague memories of it. I don't know.
I played
why.
Super Monkey Ball on GameCube.
I don't think they're talking about Super Monkey Ball, Seth.
Okay. Just trying to help. I don't know. You guys know I don't play a whole lot of video games.
So, okay, let's go ahead and transition into the community spotlight.
You must feel the force around you.
Okay, guys, I am pretty excited about this week's. Changed the name, by the way, from the fan questions to the community spotlight. I don't know if you noticed that. It's just going to highlight the whole end of the show here. The reason for the name change is just because we're a community here. It's not about that. Fan isn't the right word. We're all a community together.
It's true.
Yeah. So the first thing we're going to do here today is talk about an artist spotlight. So I got an excellent DM that I'm really excited about. Let me pull it up. From our friend BD Dubs.
What's it doing?
My bad. Stream noob here. Look at me.
What'd you do?
What do you mean what I do? I just clicked the button again.
Oh, okay.
The Falcon came back for another round. Just circled around.
Jostled. Yeah.
But this is from our friend Brock. BD Dubs says, I am the vocalist, lyricist of a melodic post-hardcore band called Love Lost. We just dropped our first single, and it is not so subtly about the anime Attack on Titan. Certainly not Star Wars coded, but nerdy nonetheless. I would love if you checked it out and let me know what you think. Thanks as always for the amazing content. One of my favorite corners of the internet. Regards, Brock, aka BD Dubs. And this segment of the show is all about just being able to highlight what you guys out there are doing. So if you have something you'd like to share with us that you'd like to share with the class, it doesn't have to be Star Wars, as you just heard here. You're working on something, you made something, you just did something cool. Send it over to us on Instagram or an email at beyondtheduneshow@gmail.com. But let's share a little bit here from Brock, aka BD Dubs. That's incredible. And you're the vocalist for that band?
That's you?
I only put about 45 seconds in there specifically so you guys can go check out that full track. It's in the description down below.
I'm kind of blown away.
Yeah, I previewed a tiny bit just to get this ready.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. First of all, the music itself is great, but like, you got some
pipes,
man.
Yeah. Like, wow.
Excellent.
That's cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for sharing that with us, Brock.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh, everybody, please go check that out. You know what? Here, I'm going to go. Here, I'm going to do it on here. Give me a second. I'm going to drop it into the chat so you guys can check it out right now. But
that's crazy.
It blew me away.
Yeah.
It blew me away. I thought that was
here. We are making our silly show. And then we got like that. That's crazy.
And the lyrics I also thought were really cool about, it's about Attack on Titan. I'll let you guys just experience it. You can also look it up on YouTube. Oh, come on. I apologize. It's not letting me copy this link. Sorry. Give me just a second, guys. I just want to make sure you guys can look this up and show some support. There we go. All right. It is in the chat. Please go check that out. It is, I'm going to go ahead and I don't know how to pin it from my computer. Anyway,
that's super cool though.
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm going to be looking forward to whenever you drop something else. That's going to be, that went right into my Spotify playlist.
That's cool. That's super cool.
Yeah. So thanks so much for sharing. Once again, if you have something you'd like to share that you'd like us to showcase, please let us know. I love that kind of stuff. And it's super unique,
Share with the class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, into the fan questions. The community questions. First one. From Rippic_10, Kim the Owl, a fantastic new Star Wars character. I love everything about her and her map Moon. I just love the mystery of At Attin.
She's got...
It went away too quick. I didn't get to finish the rest of it. I just love the mystery of At Attin. What is it? Where? Why? Such a fun plot line so far.
Apparently she has fans.
Not you.
Apparently.
But yeah. Yeah. I agree. I'm loving the mystery so far.
I can't wait for more. I think that's so... because so much is tied to that. Because you've got the Onyx Cinder and then SM33. And it's with all that's kind of tied into At Attin along with the droids and the parents. And it's like this, it's an interesting linchpin.
It's building very well.
Yes. That can, it's kind of like At Attin itself. It's housing a lot of different mysteries within itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% agree. I think it's going to pop back up when I flip over to the next cam. My bad. I was struggling with this last week. I still haven't learned. And by the way, if you have a question you'd like us to answer live, please put it in the chat. Like Baronessa says, Al Justice. I agree. Okay, next question from @ProJasonWingard. The kids definitely need to hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise if they don't know the history of Star Wars.
Sure.
Yeah. That's it. I thought you were geared up to say something. I got to point this out. For you guys who follow our friend at Star Wars Sith 66, Tony, he met with Hayden last week for like the 10th time because they're just homies now. They know each other. They literally, Hayden knows Tony now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But his photo op that he did, he had they were both reading books, and he had Hayden reading Darth Plagueis.
So he now knows.
Yeah,
yeah.
After all these years, he finally knows the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. I just thought that was so fun.
How fitting.
So jump over to his channel and check that out because he's a blast. BC Scrubs just wanted to say I loved last week's intro. NEEL. I just can't believe that NEEL was Darth Vader's favorite character too.
It is really weird.
Yeah,
my throat still hurts.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Hey, not many people can make it out.
I know. I got lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, jumping over to fan question 4. At Josh Frice, was Abeloth hinted at on Kim's board? I see tentacles.
I know. It's so weird. Why'd they decide to do that?
I kind of think so. I don't know. Like if that's where they're going, I think it makes sense. I'm like 65% there. I know. Seth the hater. He hates owls. He hates tentacle monsters. It's just
like, I don't know. I hope the Star Wars can handle Abeloth. That's my whole thing.
Julie Bodas Weber, Fern's mom seems off to me. What do you think is going on with her? She seems sketchy.
No, all the parents kind of seem sketchy.
Really? I think just Wendell did. I think Fern just seems like a concerned parent. Fern's mom, excuse me.
Yeah, but I mean, like, she also was like real on the up and up that she was talking to him at school and stuff like that. And it's like, oh no.
Yeah, she's definitely got like a higher position.
Yes, that she's like she's real integrated into what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I just think Wendell's the one who seems sketch to me. Fern just seems like she's
Fern's mom.
Fern's mom just seems like she's just there doing her job and everything. That's the way I'm viewing it anyway.
Okay.
Star Wars Nerd 00, where do you think they're going with the story? I think personally that we're going to follow a pretty predictable track, but there's going to be a lot of little twists and character moments along the way.
Yeah.
I think that
Brutus has got to catch up to him.
Yes.
That has to happen. And I assume that has to happen next episode.
Oh, I don't know. I think they're going to prolong that a little bit. Maybe we get a little run in with the pirates.
Yeah.
Maybe Vane. Maybe we get a run in with Vane, something like that. I think that we're going toward your typical, they're going to find the treasure. But they have to. Jod's going to turn them in and all that stuff.
But the treasure's on At Attin, right? Or do you think they're going to go somewhere else?
No, they're going to get there. They're going to get to At Attin for sure. I mean, that's where the show's going to end, 100%.
Yeah, but that's where it ends, and we're only halfway through next week.
Oh, okay. So you're trying to figure out what next week episode is.
Well, I mean, like, what's going to be the next couple beats? Because, I know they're going to get back to At Attin, but like...
Well, now that they have kind of a map, I think that's going to lead them not to At Attin.
I also want to point out, I loved they did the whole lineup thing with Solo. Like, when they were in the maw and they lined up to go into hyperspace?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure. They did that too, where it was like, okay, as soon as the planets line up with the horizon line, then we'll be able to shoot into hyperspace. Like, gotcha. I just thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice connective tissue.
I think that we're probably just going toward a next episode. There's going to be another sort of beat to get us on the next part of the treasure map.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be curious to see if the coordinates that they were given, where that leads. Cause I have a hard time believing it actually is going to lead to At Attin.
Yeah. Maybe an anthropomorphic fox can help them on their way.
I'd be so down.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah. Maybe a woodchuck. Like, they stop at a Buc-ee's. Something like that.
Stop at a Buc-ee's.
Yeah. They stop at a, space Buc-ee's.
Oh my gosh. Here I am again. There we go. Schechter here in the live chat says, do we think the adults are keeping the truth from the kids, or do they even know what's truly going on?
I think some of the adults know.
I personally think Wendell knows.
Analyze.
I think Wendell's the only... either they all kind of know a little more than they're letting on, or it's just Wendell. That's my thought.
Okay.
That's my thought. From Laurel Mandalore, do you think At Attin could be similar to Tanalorr? I think that the similarity to Tanalorr could be the hiding of the planet. But they clearly did it with technology. They didn't just hide it away like in a storm, basically is what they did on in Jedi Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
KatieSource.Rex, I enjoyed everything about the episode, except Kim's design. Too similar to Avatar The Last Airbender.
Huh.
Konnor wouldn't know about that, is what it says at the end there.
Huh. weird. Like that's just fascinating.
Thanks, Katie. Appreciate that.
Wow, Katie and Seth, having similar wavelengths, similar vibes. It's good to know.
Interesting. Hashtag haters in the chat. I wonder what that could be referring to. It's a crazy coincidence. Okay, next question. Alan DCG. Hello. What are the arguments of Crimson Jack to use something that is not the Force? How can that be?
I think he's using the Force. I mean, like, there's too much. Like, at the beginning, I thought maybe they're playing the kids or something like that. But it's like, no, especially on the ship when he turned off the lights. Then I'm like, okay.
100%.
Yeah.
He's definitely using the Force.
Yes.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Zerg7, who do you think the Supervisor is? New character, movies, lore.
Yeah.
It's a good question. I'm still leaning on rogue AI, like a rogue droid.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it.
I think that it's some sort of like Oz great and powerful. Someone's in charge.
I think it's that.
They think it's going to be something super scary, and then it turns out it's going to be nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go behind the curtain and C-3PO.
Yep.
Yeah. Something like that.
Oh my.
We'll see though. Gosh dang it. I keep doing that. My bad, guys. I'm so bad. Would never have thought to get some answers so quick, and I love it all, but the dad's glasses.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, now we know Seth's burner account. Interesting. So
where are we at in Attack of the Clones?
Where
are we at?
Stop it. Okay, and final question. Michael _Kramer 98. Do you think Wendell knew about the ship?
I think Wendell knows a lot.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm personally, that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
Oh, I lied. There's one more. At Star Wars Seth 66. Love the new lore bits with At Attin being one surviving secret planet from the old Republic. I agree. I like that.
I'm into it too.
Again, I think it's super funny that this is the show that's getting our foot in the door at the old Republic. But I'm into it. I'm here for it.
One last thing. Someone donated money at the beginning of the show before it even started, and we should thank them.
We did.
At the very, very first thing?
Yeah.
Even before the show started?
It was Michael _Kramer 98.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I just want to make sure that we included everybody. That's all.
I'll give him another shout out.
I want to make sure.
Yeah, I hearted it and everything.
Okay, good.
There he is.
I'm just making sure. Okay, cool. That's all.
Good dude.
Yeah.
Good dude, that Michael _Kramer 98.
Just want to make sure. Okay. Just didn't want anybody feeling left out. Like, I think that's very, very kind. I appreciate that.
Yeah, very much. Appreciate all of you guys in the chat.
Yes.
And appreciate the super chats. Appreciate the live discussion here. I'm really enjoying Skeleton Crew. I hope you guys are too. Please let us know your thoughts.
I think it's pretty cool we can just sit and talk about Star Wars.
It's great.
Yeah.
Living the dream.
Just having some fun.
So please,
out beyond the Dune Sea.
We are far out beyond the Dune Sea, huh? Yes. Let us know your thoughts on Skeleton Crew episode 3 down in the comments down below. Always love hearing from you guys. Appreciate everybody being here in the chat. And next week, we're going to be talking about episode 4.
It's halftime.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And to be on the lookout, we tried something new this week. We put out a live reaction. Well, we put out a reaction and immediate sort of review, a quick review. And that was a lot of fun. So we're going to do that again this week. Be on the lookout for that if you like that sort of quicker type content before we dive deep here on the main show. And then be on the lookout. There potentially is going to be an announcement for something next Sunday. We haven't worked out all the details yet, so I don't want to give too much away, but it will be something very cool that you guys will want to tune into. We'll let you know more either here on YouTube or on Instagram. But be on the lookout because we got something cooking. It's going to be pretty cool. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And where's my thing? Where's it at? Seth, entertain them for a minute. I got to fix something.
Okay. So guys, what's happening right now is I don't know if we can end the stream. That's the whole thing. So it's fine. I'll keep you entertained.
Don't say too much. Just keep them entertained.
Well, I am keeping them entertained. I'm doing my thing. It'd be even easier if you could cut to me.
I can't
just
cut
have
to
it.
you.
Yeah, just having it be on me.
Stop it. Stop talking about
fine.
Stop talking about behind the scenes stuff.
That's fine. Okay, fine. Okay, cool. All right, okay, cool. All right. So, guys, who's your favorite separatist leader? Let's hear it up in the chat.
Okay, I fixed it. All right, guys. Thank you all for being here. We will we'll see you next week. Skeleton Crew episode 4. See y'all.